Coach, I just wanted to ask you this first. In the mix of like the COVID-19 thing and all that stuff, moving forward after the draft,
Hmm.
how are you guys plan on handling dealing with players and things like that, and kind of getting everybody together?
Yeah, so while the draft preparation's been going on with our personnel side, really our coaches have been heading up the meetings with the players that are going on really as we speak. So that's been really good to see the players' faces on Zoom. We've gotten all their iPads to them. So we've really, with the coaching staff, already have dove into the playbook side of this and trying to teach a system on offense and defense to our players. And then, all the while getting ready for this draft weekend. So plan is to add some good players this weekend, and then bring them to the mix in a couple weeks, and then keep teaching, and then we'll be ready to roll whenever they say go.
All right, it looks like I'm assuming you're at home for this tonight. Just talk about that and how different this is and how you're adjusting.
It's pretty unique. I don't think any of us planned on doing it this way, but I think that's the fun part of this, and there really is a lesson here for all of us, and certainly something that I'm going to share with our players, and we're living it with our players. Is there's times in a game where things aren't going your way, or the unpredictable happens. An injury occurs, so the next man up. So we, as coaches, as players, we're used to the day in and day out. You have to adapt. You have to adjust. So it's certainly unique. I feel for the people that are going through this, that are on the front lines of this. I feel with my heart goes out to the people that are infected with this virus. So that takes a back seat. All what we're talking about takes a back seat to it. But I do believe, as unique as it is, we're doing our best to attack this thing.
Yeah, and you'll always remember your first, and this is obviously a unique situation. So, is there any more nerves because of it heading into your first draft?
I don't think so. We're prepared. We've done our homework. So when you show up to a test and you've done your homework, you don't really have those nerves. So I really trust our group. I think Andrew Barry, our entire personnel group, has done an outstanding job, along with the coaches, of getting ready for this draft. So now's the fun part. And we get to sit back and talk to each other just like we're talking to you guys now on Zoom, and add a bunch of good players. That's the plan. We're just looking to add a bunch of good players, good people, and then we'll say that's a successful draft if we're able to do that.
You talk about successful draft there, and then so what's the overall goal for the organization once you come to Saturday night?
That's a good question. It's something we've definitely spoken at length about, and I think the truth of it is it's so important to us to add good people to this team. They're going to be good players, I promise you. The guys that we're talking about are good players. We want to add the right mix of person into this group as well. And that's just it's important to me. It's important to our ownership group, and we're well on our way. We have some really good people in the building already. We added to it in the free agency, and now let's go add a bunch of good players that are good people via the draft.
I got one final one for you in terms of staying connected to the rest of the team, the scouting staff, all those things over the weekend. I know you guys have been testing and running some different things, but how comfortable are you with that? And what's that process like? And what do you expect it to be like?
Yeah, it's unique. Again, we're all remote. We're in different states, and we have monitors. I got wires coming out of wires over here, but we're ready to roll. We've run through this thing a few times. Feel really comfortable with it. I think our group is ready to encounter whatever might happen. I mean, we're expecting it to go smoothly, but we're ready if things start going a little crazy. We got backup plans. We got backup phones. So I think we're throwing the full force at this thing, and that's where the credit, really, the MVP of this whole thing is our IT department, our video department, because they've allowed us to not miss a beat in our preparations.
Cool. While I have you, just real quick, do you have any? Are there any plans for you to get to Cleveland anytime soon? Or you?
Yeah, I wish it was tomorrow. Honestly, my family and I, we were ready to move. The moving trucks were coming, but we just pressed pause.
Yeah.
So we kind of wake up every day, take a look at what's going on in the state, trying to guess when the building might open up again. Guess, obviously schools are up in the air for the rest of this school year, but we're certainly ready. I can promise. We got boxes already packed. It's just gonna be a matter of when we hear from the authorities when it's the proper time to move.